Hello, and welcome to the beginning of whatever this is. You know? No? I don't either. My name is Rachel, and I love performing, reselling, and sustainability. Especially when it comes to reselling, I love saving things from the landfill. I mean, most of my clothes are thrifted. All the shirts and dresses you will see on these videos come from thrift stores and the Goodwill bins, which is basically the last stop before it heads overseas or into the trash. Why am I here on YouTube telling my story? Because not only do I need an outlet to be creative, but I'm having a hard time relating to a lot of reselling content on the platform. I tried commenting on videos I didn't agree with in the hopes of promoting a lively discourse, and sometimes I know I came off like an a-hole. But trying to have an intelligent debate with someone who doesn't know you and who thinks of you as a random human on the internet was not my smartest decision. So if you don't see yourself represented, maybe it's time to start representing yourself.
If there's one thing that I could say makes it really worthwhile, is getting to tell other actors that they've got the job, that they're going to be part of the group. Hey, sweetie, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
How are you?
I'm good, pretty good. I would like a small Coke and one ingenue to go, please.
I got the
Who am I? I like to call myself an artist. I have tried most of my adult life to be a performer, sometimes with success and sometimes not. I got to tour all 50 states with the national tour of Sesame Street, and I live in Los Angeles. Okay, Los Angeles adjacent. The city of Botox, and to some, the killer of dreams. The minute you tell someone you're an actor, this glazed look comes over their face, and they automatically assume you wait tables for a living. Which I did. I don't know who created the you have to wait tables until you make it mantra, but I'd love to have a chat with them. Ugh, the survival job. Backstage, which is the go-to actors magazine, did a 2017 article titled 10 Things Waiting Tables Can Teach You About Acting. You know, commitment and discipline, playing the positive, practice your vocals, know your audience, personalize your performance. I mean, this article romanticizes the struggle of having a survival job, which I will tell you from experience, after a year or so, gets pretty old fast. There is definitely something to be said about staying positive and looking on the bright side, but I mean, come on. Practice your vocals. Having a survival job while pursuing your dream, especially when it comes to catering and waiting tables, is really hard. The work is grueling. And in my case, there were no benefits, no sick days, no health insurance, no vacation days, nothing. If you didn't work, you didn't get paid. You'd be surprised how many companies are able to bypass any type of benefits for their employees. I mean, it's a live paycheck to paycheck kind of gig, which a large majority of people, especially in the US, are in the same boat. And they have a family to support or other like large financial obligations. So in 2019, I had seen videos about reselling, and it was like a whole new world opened up. The idea of finding things at a thrift store or garage sale, cleaning or repairing them, learning the history behind them, and saving them from a landfill? Magic. It was perfect. So I started reselling, and I did all the things they tell you not to do. They tell you to start by selling your own stuff. Didn't do that. They tell you to learn about shipping. Didn't do that. They tell you to check your sell-through rate. Nope. Didn't do that either. They tell you to figure out an inventory system. Judging from my boyfriend's face every time he sees my storage area, I'm pretty sure I failed that too. I learned everything by making mistakes. I paid too much at the thrift store. I lost money because I underestimated the shipping cost. I had a house overrun with what's lovingly referred to as a death pile. And I underpriced my items because I didn't realize the vast difference between the gross and net profit when everything from shipping to cost of goods to fees to supplies to subscriptions or operating costs to taxes is taken out. And then 2020 hit and the world literally fell apart. I received an email where the main catering job I worked for terminated all their employees. Suddenly, I was thrust into a position where reselling became a main source of income. And flash forward to 2024, where I am a part-time reseller making a six-figure income. Psych! That's not what happened. I do operate as a part-time reseller, and I do make part-time pay right now. I also have had to change my thinking from one of an employee to someone who is actually running a small business. And though there is a lot of discourse within the community regarding part-time and full-time resellers, I believe I have to operate as a small business. And I want to learn more about this. I grew up financially uneducated. I mean, my parents were not great with money, and this has been a journey for me.
$100,000? Look, you're a nice fellow, well, glad you're here, but if I may be blunt, what's wrong with you?
So what I'm understanding here, correct me if I'm wrong, is that you're not giving me any money. So now I'm left basically with nothing. I'm left with zero, what can I do with zero? You know, what can I can't do anything with it. This is my life here we're talking about. We're not just talking about, something else. We're talking about my life, When I'm going home and I'm gonna bite my pillow. It's what I'm gonna do.
Now, creating a business is exciting. You get to be your own boss and do things on your own time. The ability to be able to have flexibility within my schedule is worth its weight in gold. However, in understanding that reselling is indeed its own form of running a small business, I need to look at the facts. According to an article by LendingTree in April of 2024 that references the Bureau of Labor Statistics, 1 in 4 businesses fail within their first year of operation. Within 5 years, 48% of businesses fail. And within 10 years, 65.3% of businesses have closed down. Yikes. I mean, the failure rate is similar to being a working actor, which, according to our good friends at Backstage, has like a 2% success rate. So maybe slightly worse. So in both areas, my financial life and my career, I am looking at an uphill battle. Now, most of our country runs on this little thing we like to call capitalism. No matter what you hear or what politics you follow, I think a lot of us love the idea of being able to work hard and to make money and to figure out a way of carving out a nice life for ourselves. I will say, as someone who has been at both the low end of the food chain and conversely an extremely privileged individual, it does feel like we as humans sometimes like to prioritize our own wealth, even if it comes at the cost to those around you. So I want to do something I like to call compassionate capitalism. Is it possible to make a profit and also be aware and take care of those around you? And could that ever be a successful business model? Only time will tell. So, let's get down and dirty with the details.
I don't even know where to start, honestly.
Let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. Let's dive into the general idea of what we call reselling. From the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it means to sell something again. Sounds easy enough. There are a million ways to do this. So that would mean purchasing or owning something, listing it on a platform online for sale, and shipping it out to a buyer who hopefully will pay you more than you originally paid for the item, minus the shipping price, the fees, the supplies, the subscriptions or outside charges you incur to sustain an online business, and of course, taxes. Plus, more if you have a storage space, employees need to drive for shipping and sourcing. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And after all that, you hope that you have done a good enough job both listing an item and shipping it out that the buyer is happy and doesn't return it. Piece of cake. And with my brain, it gets overwhelming fast. My brain goes, buy something, sell something, make a ton of money. If only it were that simple. And then we add my business mission statement. In acting, when you are trying to figure out why someone does something, you call it their intention. A business mission statement is the intention for the business, or the why. Wikipedia's definition is a short statement of why an organization exists. My business mission statement: to create a thriving reselling business focused on sustainability, quality, and social responsibility. You know, the trifecta. So let's break it down.
The rain makes me sad, Mama. Does it make you sad too?
I just wish it would stop, that's all.
Me too. Do you see the river, Mama?
Yes, I see it.
It used to be so pretty, all clean and sparkling like, and now it just looks angry. Don't you think the river looks angry, Mama?
Hush, child, hush.
Sustainability. For me, simply that means to save as many things as possible from the landfill, and that includes in my own personal life. Now, there are some things that I really truly believe that you need to buy new. You know, socks, underwear, food, etc. But when it comes to things like clothes, toys, collectibles, stuff like that, buying used is, I think, hugely important for our planet. The Roundup organization, which is an organization that focuses on sustainability, they created a great infographic regarding some global textile waste facts. One of the biggest facts is that the world produces 92 million tons of textile waste every year. And that's just in textiles. And we can go into details regarding the why, but if I can create a business that helps rescue some of those things and makes a profit, that would be amazing. So for my business, I do want to prioritize the Goodwill bins. Bonus, they are cheaper when it comes to cost of goods because you pay by the pound. And according to more than one employee that I've talked to, the Goodwill bins is basically the last stop before a lot of those things end up being sold overseas or go into the trash, aka the landfill. Now, the bins, if you have ever been to them, are crazy. If I really want to focus on sustainability, that is the target sourcing, though I from time to time consign, go to regular thrift stores, figure out other sourcing opportunities, etc., and so forth. In addition to sourcing and trying to be sustainable, I also reuse a lot of boxes. A lot with the Amazon name on it, including all the packaging that comes with it. It saves money. And when the boxes show somewhere, I can do things to make it look more presentable and give it a more personal touch. Quality. For me, this means taking a little bit more time and presenting the best product possible. It's washing and cleaning things I'm able to clean, and if possible, doing some repairs. I would definitely love to learn how to do more of that repairing, especially when it comes to sewing. I mean, boy, oh boy, do I wish that I had learned how to sew when I was younger. Quality also means more research. Learning about what I'm selling so I can be thoughtful and intelligent with my listing. This also means packaging up items in a way that shows that I care about the sale. Now, especially in 2024, that is, I feel, the opposite of what a lot of videos are telling resellers to do. Right now, volume selling seems to be the word du jour, and this is coming from much, much more successful resellers than me. So, in all honesty, they may be right. Listen, I hate places like Temu for a multitude of reasons, and I can either be Temu or I can be Tiffany's. Now, quality is subjective, and I'm sure there will be people who will go onto my store and think that my listings are crap. You know, the photos, the description, maybe they'll see that it's packaged in an old Amazon box, you know, no matter how much I dress it up, and think that that's not okay. And that's okay with me. You know, as long as I know that there's room to grow and that I'm doing the best job I can, that's all I can do. And finally, we have the most important one for me within my business model, which is social responsibility or giving back. So, adding to that long list of expenses of running a small business, we also add an additional 50 cents of every sale going to our local food bank, the Second Harvest Food Bank, which is in Orange County, except that from October to December of 2024, the donations will be going to Feeding Tampa Bay for help with the hurricane relief with all the hurricanes that they had this year. Now that is 50 cents, regardless of whether the sale is $5 or $500. And with the amount of sales that I do, generally that's about like anywhere from $30 to $40 a month, which is not a lot. But it's my personal belief that everyone should be able to eat. Now, given the amount of sales that I have, the amount of money I make, I'm sure there are a lot of resellers who are thinking that is the stupidest thing I have ever heard. And honestly, they may be right. But I just believe that if I'm making money, I need to also do my part to make sure that I'm taking care of those around me. Another disclaimer, I do advertise that I donate to the food bank. So to some, this could be a marketing technique, and you know what? I'm okay with that. As long as people are getting food, I'm happy. In addition to this, I would also love to support my fellow resellers. I think it's important to purchase from the platforms I sell on and not only support small businesses, but to also understand the buyer experience, which could be really useful information to myself as a seller. So there you go. Probably the most insane experiment on the face of the planet, but life is short, and as the poet Robert Frost so eloquently stated, 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So, these videos are not about teaching. They are not about telling people what to sell or opinions that I haven't done a massive amount of research on. And I plan on presenting all sides because things are rarely black and white. Life lives mostly in the gray. This is a journey on what it means to start a business, especially in the world of reselling. Can you go in a completely different direction? And I do plan on sharing my sales data and trying to be as transparent as I possibly can. If you got to the end of this video, thank you. I mean, honestly, no need to do anything. Life asks a lot out of us in general. Just thanks.